Check, check, check. Are we streaming? Check, check. Can somebody drop a comment? Just real quick, anybody that's in the building, can you drop a comment and let me know if the stream is good on your end? Because apparently it's an audio issue thing tonight. Thank you. So sorry. Apparently it's an audio issue thing. I guess, guys, the battery and the iRig control thing, something was messed up with that, and YouTube wouldn't let the stream fly, so I apologize for that. I think we are finally off to the races. We're 30 seconds in, and the stream's actually holding, so once again, I apologize. Guys, I'm going to be a master at this. You give me another year from now, I'm going to have this down, all right? Hey, shalom to everybody coming in the building. So here's the deal. Tonight, I'm going to talk about a topic, something that I keep to myself and have kept to myself for a long time. I've only talked about it, in my inner circle of people that I fellowship with, family, friends, just very few people I ever have these deep conversations. And I say deep because, and I'm going to get into this later, for those that know they're a descendant of Abraham, like they know they're a Hebrew Israelite by blood. Now, keep in mind, keeping of the commandments and faith in Messiah is what saves us. I just want to put that out there where it's at. But I do find that it is a not so hard walk once a true bloodline Hebrew Israelite figure out who they are to assimilate back, to be a part of their people and have people to fellowship with, okay? And I'll just let that in lie for where it's at for a minute. What I want to say, though, is for those of us across the nations, Oriental, so-called white man, the Hispanic, the Arabic person, just all of us people across the world, it's very difficult for us when you wake up and see who you are and figure out who the true descendants of Abraham are and where you're at in the state of affairs in prophecy and the state of affairs of this world. Whew, man, it comes in like a wrecking ball. And I want to tell you guys that if you have come to the truth, all praise the Most High. And guys, let me correct that. Give me just a second. Hopefully that'll adjust that out a little bit. I hope the glare is gone. Let me turn this light up a little bit right there, and maybe that'll tweak that. All right. Anyway, just let me know, guys, if that glare's gone away off the screen now. But if you have come to the knowledge of the truth, all praise be to the Most High God for that. He woke me up in the wintertime in 2009, and I am so grateful for that. Yes, okay, sorry about the glare on the thing, guys. But like in 2009, I was in Babylon, and he woke me up in an SUN Day church, and I've gave my testimony before, and my life's walk is irrelevant at the moment. I'm talking tonight is in generalizations about everything as a whole. But I do want to tell you all this, guys, is we are only granted a finite amount of time in this life, and I find that it is very, very paramount that we use it wisely. And guys, I'll get in the comments later. I'm going to try to take some breaks in between getting the comments stuff, but I want to tell y'all something, and I don't think I said this in the last video. I think it was on my mind, but I just didn't say it. But while I was going on my honeymoon, it was about 3 days in, and I went to sleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night cold. Like my whole body was cold. It felt like I had no blood flow in it. And I looked at my watch, and I had like flatlined for like probably 10, 15 minutes. I was just like, wasn't breathing, and obviously my heart wasn't beating. So I guess you could kind of say dead man for a little bit. And I guess it's called sleep apnea is a thing or something like that. Maybe that's what I experienced that moment. But regardless, living, dead, sleep apnea, whatever you want to call it. I mean, in my opinion, and I'm not a physician, I'm an electrician, but when you stop breathing oxygen and your heart stops beating, I kind of call that dead. But nevertheless, when I woke up and I started feeling blood going to the extremities in my body again, I lay there and I thought to myself, I was like, if I died right now, if I really was dead right now, I feel peace about it. And years ago, guys, now I wouldn't be able to sit here and say I kind of felt peace. But now I was like, well, okay. I was like, thank you, Father Yah, for another day under your sun and the breath of life again. And let's go kick this thing and do it, guys. And, I guess I guess where I'm at with it, guys, is I'm a different person than I was years ago. I have seen a lot, and I've taken a lot of red pills, and it's really made me take a step back in life and just evaluate everything. And like I said the other day when I woke up, and that happened, I was just so grateful. The peace that I felt that morning when I got up. And I hope everybody can arrive at that place of peace, because we live in such a tumultuous world. And not only to mention that those of us that are Gentiles, that have come to the truth and assimilated to serve the Most High Yah and keep His commands, it's a struggle. And so we're going to get into that. So the first thing I want to get into, the first bullet point, and I think and gosh, there's like no particular order that it's like top down. I mean, this just all are relevant, okay? And you're gonna, and for some people, one thing may be a big struggle where others ain't. But the first thing that I ran clean into the wall with was church. Like, when I brought up that the Ten Commandments was still valid, that the Sabbath needed to be kept. Keep in mind, I was an elected deacon in the church at this point in time. I'm just like, man, and I didn't ask to be. Like, the church as a whole decided to elect me as a deacon in this church. So I'm just bringing these points up, and like literally got the boot for the most part. And so out the door I go. But and then from there to the SDA church, then to finally and to keeping the way. And shalom to everybody coming to the building. And the thing that gets me is a lot of people that are in the way today, they will tell you that the church was like, maybe, I would say probably the biggest impediment to them coming to the truth and to the way, because they wanted to hold them back, hide the truth, and keep them from finding it out. And then when they found it out, shamed them or throw them to the curb. And I'm sorry, guys, slurring my words here. It is a reoccurring story, and I've found that it seems like that people that are atheists that never were in the way and come to find out, say, like, for example, flat earth. I love to bring up flat earth because it triggers people, because they just can't let go of their globe. And somebody's so true about church. It's sad, guys, but it's so many people's stories. I've heard them. I've experienced firsthand. Especially from not only a member, but from a clergy position. I've seen it thick, man, deep. Shalom, everybody. And so anyway, you look at this situation, and the people that were atheists that have come to know the knowledge of the truth, like, for example, the flat earth interested them. Then they picked up the Bible, found out that was in there, and then started looking at so many more. Next thing you know, they've accepted Messiah, keeping the commandments, want to honor the Father, and so on, and so on, and so on. And all praise be unto the Father. But that, sometimes I feel like nowadays especially, that you can almost teach somebody that has come from a wicked background to be a lot better person. Guys, I apologize about the sound. I understand that there may be like an echo reverberating tonight or something. I don't know if it's me or YouTube, but I couldn't even properly use the mic tonight with the settings that I had adjusted, so please just bear with me. It's probably just Hashatan trying to keep this message from going out tonight. I've never had to reload the live as much as I had. Guys, I'll get in the comments just shortly. Just bear with me. And so anyway, with church, guys, like I said, if you have been a person that wasn't of faith or a person that didn't go to church, and then you came later into the truth via being an atheist or something like that, I think that in a way, I won't say it's a blessing, but in a way, it's at least you didn't have to detox. All you had to do is put new information in. For those of us that was in Babylon, man, not only you got to take junk off the hard drive, but now you're trying to put stuff on the hard drive, and you're trying to deal with people that's trying to corrupt you right back. It's a mess. Now, the second thing that people deal with, which I think is an absolute cancer, just because you are a blood relative does not make you family to me. Now, see, when I was a child, and even into my early 20s, I believed this, but that is no more. I don't care if you're a blood relative. I don't care if you're my neighbor, my best friend, whoever. Everybody's disposable. Everybody's disposable out of my life. I have a zero tolerance policy in my life for any drama, stupidity anymore. So, even if you're family, you can get cut. And I think that people allow, I don't think, I say, I've got to stop saying that word, but I need to treat that like it's a curse word. But it is obvious that family is an impediment to people keeping the way and doing what's right for the kingdom. I'll give you an example. So you've come into the truth and you're like, you know what? I need to stop eating these unclean foods, because not only does scripture condemn it, and let's not even just focus on that for a minute. Let's focus on the fact that eating this pork can give me all sorts of health problems. You sit down and stop eating the pork. The next thing you know, for dinner that night, your family serves up pork, and then they shame you for not eating it as the rest of them eat that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, the family dynamic in the last days, there's so many of us that you live in a family where you're probably the only one that keeps the way. And I say the way, and if y'all don't understand what the way is, that's obey y'all and keep his commands, have faith in Messiah. Okay, that's pretty much in a nutshell the way. Because don't worry, most of Christianity don't even keep the commands anymore, and heck, even some people don't even have faith in Mashiach's sacrifice. So I don't even need to go any much further. I mean, you know, we're an elite group of people anymore. And I don't mean to beat up on Christianity, but like, guys, if you just look at modern Christianity, dude, it has just took a deep dive off the cliff. Now, the thing about family, guys, is I'm not saying they can't be saved. I'm not saying they can't be reached. What I'm saying is there comes a point where that you stop putting into my life and you start taking away. And when you start taking away from my walk with Messiah, you got to get cut. Okay? Now, I'm going to drop red pills here. Now, if I don't offend some people, I'm going to be disappointed, because I just don't see how I can't with all the wealth of notes that I've wrote down here. So the next thing, and this is a crazy thing. This is the one that I know has hurt so many people the worst. And like I told my wife this, that, you know, I fear her more than I do the police, because you can do more damage to my life than the cops can. You know, government can. People closest to you can do more damage to you. I mean, everybody has a potential to be a Judas that's near you. You need to understand that. It's a very clear potential and a fact. And most of the people in life, especially of great esteem, that was ever betrayed, it was their own family. Take David with Absalom. I mean, I can just go and go and go, guys. I mean, it is just like, the people that will betray you worst is your own family. But with that said, there's a power play. Is the queen's always next to the king on the chessboard, and your spouse, okay, whether it's husband or wife, have the most potential to damage your walk in faith, I believe, more than anybody. And the thing is I've noticed a lot of people come to the truth, and the next thing you know is their spouse will check out on them, demean them, take their children from them, take everything from them, and just so on and so on and so on. And it's sad, but it's true. And the thing is, guys, is I look at it like this. I'm replaceable. A wife is replaceable. You won't serve y'all? Get on up out of here. That's fine. Somebody said, tribulation time family may turn you in to be destroyed. Shout out to you, brother JD. Guys, I appreciate the donation on the channel. Every dollar helps here lately. Guys, tickets are flying off shelf for the Restoring the Foundations Conference. Make sure to get over there and please get a ticket. Like if you haven't listened to me on the lives lately, the conference center's already guaranteed me that in case of Rona, any adjustments to ordinances and stuff, if we have spread out seating 6 foot apart, they're going to give us even more venue room for everybody to sit down still, so that we still have room for everybody that's got tickets. So if y'all ain't got free tickets, get over and get them. You know, they're there to be had. But your spouse, dude, can absolutely train wreck your life. Listen, you do not forget that we live in a generation, I call it the Instagram generation, where that one day your spouse can be in it to win it, and the minute you walk out of Babylon, the next day you're in divorce court, lost your children, your home, your vehicle, next thing you know, your job, and potentially your life to suicide if you're not careful. And think I'm joking? Go check statistics. It is even, it's easy for a pagan wife to leave a man and go on about her business. It's very hard for a man that's trying to walk in the way to rebuild, because he's been destroyed. You know, I mean, the system just destroys everybody anymore. Nobody should get married or have anything to do with the system if you don't have a prenup. If you don't have a prenup, get a ketubah. You don't need the system to be married. That's the end of that. Elders, your pastor, acknowledge it for the people, get on with your life. That's all I got to say about it. I'm done with the system, guys. If, like I said, if you don't have prenup, don't even go down the road. Hey, shout out to you guys. Shalom, everybody. But the thing with it, I think it's in the book of Sirach. If you look in it, it says literally that if a wife pretty much will not walk in the way with you, divorce her, get another. Now, I can't tell you the exact verse that is right now because I've been back in Baruch. But it's in Sirach, and I don't encourage divorce. But I'm just saying there comes a point where you gotta jump ship, okay? And if people say, you know what, I'm not going to serve y'all, I'm not going to walk this thing out with you, I hate you, blah blah blah. You know what, bro? You can just keep walking because I'm done with you. I got kingdom work to do. Now I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to take a break and read some of these comments. Number 4 is friends. Man, I'll tell you what, friends, guys, to me is not a necessity in my life anymore. Matter of fact, a lot of people that would probably call me friends, I would say they are more of an acquaintance to me than friends. Friends for me are the people that's been there with me for years or decades. They have been there through my ups and my downs, good times, my bad times. That's real friends. Everybody else, it's easy to be good friends whenever everything's good. It's hard to be friends when things are bad, okay? And so I value the people that's been in my life when I was at rock bottom more than ever. I don't care if I get $1 million tomorrow. Anybody that comes in my life is a friend. That's great, but you hold no value, no substantial worth compared to the people that were there when I was at the bottom. And I think that there's nothing wrong. I said think again. There is nothing wrong with having friends as long as they are building you up for the kingdom. Anybody that starts to stumble me, take my peace, take away from me serving the kingdom, waste my time, dude, don't need them. Just great knowing you. Keep it 100. I'll see you later on. Because it's already a struggle enough for us, especially the nations, to even have a walk. Because, for one, we have been so paganized through our cultures and our traditions around us and our families and everyone around us that we've had this mold that to break that yoke off of us and actually serve y'all, it's ridiculous to deal with these people anymore because it's like once you come to the knowledge of truth, your friend circle goes from that to like way small. Shout out to True Israel Rising. I appreciate the donations, guys, on the channel. Guys, I mean, straight up, it is friends is you just got to understand that at this point in conjuncture in life that friends should not be a necessity because in the end it's pretty clear that a lot of us are going to be alone anyway, and I think that we need to remove that codependency in ourselves. And I hate it. There's times I love to be alone. Like when I'm on job site, dude, I can work all day by myself. Turn radio on, something, just hammer away. But there comes points where if you're alone for days, you enjoy people's fellowship. You enjoy Sabbath together. You enjoy people's company. But, it gets hard at times dealing with people anymore because you want to have good kingdom talk or you want to have good experiences with people and people's just so wrapped up in the world, you really just don't have a bond with them anymore after you've gotten woke. And it's hard, my wife told me that I used to have like this real bright light in my eyes. I was so happy. And in the past couple of years, it's just, I don't look the same. I don't have that kind of smile. And I got to be honest with you, in the past 2 years of my life, I have actually about 3, I have went through the most radical transformations in my life outside of when I came to the way in 2009. So it's been hard because I've went through a lot of friends, a marriage, losing my home, I can just go, just bullet list, from 2009, from church to family to friends to marriage to home to jobs to everything, dude. It just stack. And it's tiring and it's taxing. And I pray the Most High Yah does, like, to me, like he done Job. Hopefully this is the rebuilding time, the rest time of restoration now. And I'd like to see some restoration in my life before the trumpets start. And, the thing is, guys, is fair weather friends, too, when the mark of the beast system goes in place and all this stuff goes in place, do you think for 1 minute these people wouldn't turn you in? They don't have a heart for y'all. So to sell you out for a $500 reward or $5,000 reward, dude, they're going to pull the trigger. I mean, guys, this is not rocket science. I just, I don't know how to really put some of this in words to the depth that I would like to, because I just feel like that you can't overemphasize your church family betraying you, your family betraying you, your spouse betraying you, and your friends betraying you, because there's other things around you that can damage you. But these are the four pillars, I think the four most powerful pillars around you, because your church family you have interacted with probably all your life, especially if you're leaving Babylon. Your family has always been a part of your life. Your spouse has the most power to damage your life. And your friends are so many veins out that have reach in certain ways that can either try to pull you down, try to pull you back, or damage you later down the road. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to pause right here for a second. We're on point number 4. I think I've got 8 points here tonight, so I'm going to take a pause for a second because we're usually 30 minutes in. I'm only 20 minutes in here. I'm going to stop back up a second and read some questions in. Give me just a second. We're rolling back up again. All right, so somebody said, an elder said, don't you think you were sinning by looking spiritual stuff up without consulting us, your elders? See, that's exactly it right there. Babylon don't want you to think for yourself. If I was a pastor of a church, an assembly, the number one thing I would tell people is don't you dare trust in me. Think for yourself. Number 2 is there should be elders that's always fact-checking everything that's getting said right then and there. That's a fact. And sadly, that just don't go down like that anymore. Even in Torah fellowships, seems like sometimes. Somebody said Second Baruch will change anyone's perspective if they read it. This has been a real eye-opener for me. We are in those pages. I'm telling you, guys, did I not tell you here lately? Read Second Baruch. All right, that is like mandatory reading for this time. You see now why I've read it, tried to read through it twice here just lately, making that a mandatory Sabbath reading for myself. Somebody said, Shalom, root word, etymology of church, Circe, so that's understandable, Luke. The goddess of Circe poisoned, cast spells, and took her victims by force. Difficult, sorry guys. Somebody said, difficult to break away from the clutches of Circe. Yeah. Somebody said pagans will slander you for financial gain. Absolutely. Listening from Omaha, Nebraska, finally caught a live stream. Praise Yahuwah for the work you do for the kingdom of the Most High. Y'all be encouraged. I appreciate that, guys. Somebody said, yeah, I don't really have anything to say to anybody that doesn't follow y'all. Yeah, same here, guys. I'm becoming a hermit. Somebody said, right, Luke, or J.D. Israel said, right, Luke, as soon as I preach the truth, my so-called friends went to zero and it feels good. Somebody said, when we left our SU Day church, I lost every friend I made and hung out with. Every friend I made since moving to the area. Guys, this stuff is real. People, I wish that I was wrong sometimes on here, the stuff I say. All right. And I want to be careful how I say that, because one day I will be held accountable for everything. Every idle word that you speak, you're going to be held accountable for. So I'm just saying, like, there's things I say on here that I know it's fact. I just wish so badly it wasn't fact and I didn't say it, because I don't want it to be a fact. There's sometimes I don't want to face reality myself, but it's there and we got to. Somebody said, problem is nobody follows Torah except on YouTube. Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. If it wasn't for social media, so many of us today wouldn't have any fellowship together at all. Somebody said Revelation 10, J.D. Israel said Revelation 10, 10 and 9, I went up to the angel and he said to me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. That's so true. For those that have been uncool, Professor Figa says, for those that have been uncool friends, do I need to call them out before I leave them alone? Put them in their place in the name of, I'm going to say Yeshua, then go on my way. I would just check people, and then I'd go about my life. Guys, at least give them a witness before you go. Somebody said the definition of set apart comes into full play in this walk. Wheat and tares, yep. Somebody said shalom, shalom, shalom. family, friends, and ex-lovers that know your secrets can also damage your life. That is a excellent point. Goes right into what I was saying, all the veins of friends. The four pillars: family, friends, church, your spouse. These are the people that can damage you the most. C said, I'm likely ditching my Facebook account. Anyone I'm connected to lately hasn't been on Facebook. And that's the thing, guys. All I have anymore pretty much is YouTube and Facebook. And the only reason I keep Facebook because I have so many dear friends around the world that's the easiest venue for us all to communicate with each other. Somebody said, my circle's so small now, I pass my Bible from left hand to right hand and keep on reading. Oh, my goodness. Father, y'all, please be with you. Guys, it sucks being alone. It sucks being alone. I've traveled so many places across this world so far and met so many wonderful people and small groups, fellowships, some people, individuals. People's come seeing me, and it just sucks because there's so few good people left. There's just, man, I go out in the world nowadays and dude, I don't hardly meet any good people. Any good people left. Just nothing but a world full of worldly people and pagans. That's about all there is to it. Now, this next point, guys, I wanna treat this with kid gloves. And for those that have not followed my channel for years, and this may be new to you, this may be the first time you've came to the Hard Truth Show. If you want to go check out a video called "The True Hebrews," warning, you may be shocked or something like that. I think I'm about to roll 1 million views on that video. All right, now I produced that like 5 years ago now. Okay, and here's the thing: as soon as I come into this truth about this, because this is one of the things I was studying, who is the true Hebrews? Because I just had this uneasy feeling about the Jews today over there in Israel. And guys, be honest with you, I'm gonna be 100 with you. I never would have wanted to serve those people in the New Kingdom. I don't want no part with those people. And if they want to come to Messiah and keep the commands, great. But I don't. I just, if that was going to be the true Israel, I was just dreading it because I was like, man, I just don't want to submit to these people. I don't want them to be the head of the nations one day. This is a nightmare. And I can go into so many reasons why. But that's not the subject matter for tonight. All that we need to understand is those are the fake Jews over there today, fake Hebrew Israelites. And then we have the true Hebrew Israelites, which is the so-called black men. But please be careful with that because some of them are Hamites. They look like Israel, but they're not Israel either. They're the sons of Ham. Well, this is the deal. The other premise I want to put, that blood doesn't save you, okay? What was the Messiah said that the rocks would cry out, if praise wasn't given, I believe is what it said. He could raise up seed to Abraham, right? Well, I want to make this point right here too, because so many people go into this point, especially for the nations, and this is just one example. And I don't want to get too deep into this because I'm going to do a video where that it's just an open dialogue to the true Hebrew Israelite community that I just wish that people would see some things from the other side of the fence that I don't think they see during this awakening period. And I see it, but I can't do a thing about it. This is in Matthew chapter 8. It's verse 3 through 12. I just want to read this real quick. And Yahushua put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Yeshua said unto him, See thou tell no man, but go thy way, show thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moshe commanded for testimony unto them. And when Yahushua was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion. Please keep in mind this is a Gentile, beseeching him. From the best I can make it, the more you read the full context, this is obviously a Roman centurion, a Gentile, beseeching him. And he's saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Yeshua saith unto him, I will come heal him. All right, now y'all ready for this? The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou should come under my roof. Me neither, brother, me neither. But speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, Go, and he goeth. And to another, Come, and he cometh. And to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it. And when Yahushua heard it, he marveled. I would have loved to see Mashiach's face when this man said this, because it's a Gentile. He says to him, he marveled, and he said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Yisrael. Now, let that one soak in for a minute. And here it goes further. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. They shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, I want you to understand just a couple caveats from that. that man had such a great of faith that nobody else in Israel that Mashiach had apparently come across at that point had demonstrated. That's distasteful to me. The second thing that's distasteful to me is that at the end of it right there, whenever he pointed this out, that there'll be people that'll come and sit down, with Abraham in the kingdom. There's going to be multitudes of the nations in the kingdom, and people don't get that grasp, okay? But the scripture's right there on it, all right? And this is the struggle right now. I think this is one of the biggest struggles for those of us of the nations, is because I've been in many assemblies where I've been there and it's full of Hebrew Israelites, and I was the only person of the nations in the building. Okay, I was the only non-melan or light melanated person in the building, and that don't bother me. I'm not racist at all, guys. I was thrilled to be there and got edified. But the thing is it's like I don't see the Hebrew Israelites on the street trying to win the nations. Not many. I know some, and matter of fact, they're speaking at the conference. But outside of that group of people that I've met, I could tell you probably, I could give you a group over here that's trying to turn away the nations from the kingdom for as many that's trying to win them. And that's not cool. There's a lot of camps out there. There's a lot of dogma. And nobody wants to talk about this stuff. And this is a real issue, okay? I see this. I've met a lot of people. I've spoke at a lot of places, okay? And look, it's racism, drama, street preaching. I've seen people bending down, kissing people's feet, okay? People, the nations, kissing Hebrew Israelites' feet. Now, I'm going to tell y'all straight up right now, I ain't kissing a white man's foot. I ain't kissing an Arab man's foot. I ain't kissing a black man's foot. I ain't kissing an Oriental man's foot. And if there's any other body I forgot, I ain't kissing your foot either. And anybody tells me I have to kiss their foot can kiss my hind end. That's how I feel about it. The only person that I would gladly kiss their foot, wash their feet, and do abstinence in their presence is Mashiach and the Most High Yah. I'll gladly do anything they command. Matter of fact, they come back and they be like, Luke, I want you to go kiss that person's foot, that person's foot, that person's foot, and I want you to go grab a cup of wine and carry it to that man's table and serve him. I'll be like, you know what, Master? I'll be right on that. And matter of fact, when I get done, please let me know next what I can do to please you. That's where Luke's at. But right now, man, y'all crazy. People are crazy. You're over here wanting me to bow down and kiss your feet, and you can't even do the courtesy to the Most High Yah of putting on tzitzits. You can't even put on a set of tzitzits. Check this out. Check out this Gentile over here. Boom. How hard is that? It's like 2 seconds in the morning to tie on a tzitzit, but you're over here preaching on a street corner that I ain't going to make it in the kingdom, but you can't even put a tzitzit on. Oh my gosh. And like I seen an elder that I'm friends with on Facebook that's supposed to be like trying to win people for the kingdom, and he had a picture of white men picking cotton and a black man whipping them with a whip. And guys, I'm not trying to cite racism. I just want you to understand some points that those of the nations are dealing with. Is that when I seen that, I'm like, okay, now if I posted a picture of some black man out there picking cotton and a white man whipping them, boy, the world would burn. And I'm like, I don't want to see anybody picking cotton and anybody whipping or hurting anybody. Period. I don't care where you're from, who you are, how old you are, color you are, period. Okay? I ain't for that, guys. And there's a difference, too, between servants and slaves. People don't understand that. Slavery is just terrible. There's lots of examples of servants in the scripture. Just want to lay that out there, too. And that's what I'm saying. If the shoe is on the other foot, people would get... And another thing is, like, Israel's supposed to be the lighthouse of the nations. I was invited to speak at the James 1:1 conference, like, years ago. And I spoke about this at the conference. If you want to go back in the video history, the catalog of videos, and go back in the archives, I literally spoke that Israel is supposed to be the lighthouse of the nations. And if you look there in the book of Yasher, Yosef ascended, I think it was 70 steps, and because that represented the nations at the time, 70 nations. All right, now correct me if I'm wrong on that. Y'all go read that in Yasher. Here's the deal. If you look at the Feast of Tabernacles, there's like 70 sacrifices. Pretty much that's for the nations that come up to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. Because in Zechariah 14, those that don't come up to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles ain't even going to receive rain like Egypt. Egypt ain't going to receive rain. I mean, like, it's all in the scripts, folks. People just don't want to read it. It's like everybody's cherry picking stuff, and even in the awakening, this is going on. I mean, like, and I don't want to miss any of my notes, like. That's literally some of the stuff, because I've got a whole video that I'm going to I'm going to cover a lot of this stuff because this is my interactions with Israel. I've had good interactions. I've had bad interactions. I've seen stuff that's great. I've seen stuff that I'm just like, wow. And it's disheartening because when I seen the truth of the true Hebrews, who the Hebrew Israelite descendants were, man, I just wanted to tell the world. I'm like, man, we've all been lied to. Even Hitler. There's a quote from Hitler that like the America had stole the jewels of the Most High. Like, I mean, even Hitler was like woke on some of his stuff. And I try to be patient because you got to understand when you put stuff in the light of Deuteronomy 28, there's a lot of curses that I feel that are still at play too. And so, it's one of those deals where I try to look at everything from every angle, in the box, outside the box, standing on the edge of the box, etc. But, like I said, there's literally street corner preachers that's telling people that the nations are going to be slaves, and you're not going to enter the kingdom, and blah 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 blah. And the whole time they're standing there, they can't even put a set of fringes on, let alone quote anything from the scripture correctly on some of this stuff. And it's just infuriating, and I can't put up with it because it's like you're supposed to get up under Israel. I'm like, that's fine. Show me the people that's keeping the Father's calendar and using Messiah's name properly and the Father's name properly and wants to put on their fringes and wants to keep the commandments and wants to do right by not only his brother but the stranger. And I can just give a laundry list. Show me where these people are at, because I'm having a hard time finding these people anymore. And I know that when I talk to people, the nations, I know people that are Oriental, I know people that are black, I know people that are Hispanic. I've met all sorts of people that's trying to keep the way. And this is the stuff that they run into, and this is why it gets irritating to me, because when I try to tell people the truth, because I try to tell people everything, Father's law, the true nature of this earth, who the ancestral Hebrew Israelites are, because if people can get woke to that, they can see so many other lies that we've been lied to. And it just keeps going down the list, right? Snowballing, all these things to try to wake people up. And when you try to tell some of these people nowadays that for example, people I'm sure of that I've tried to fellowship with, they're like, I don't hear about these Hebrew Israelites, because all they see is some of these hate-filled camps. And that is just, that's sad. And like I said, there's still good people out there. And if you want to meet a lot of the true Hebrew Israelite descendants, blood descendants of Abraham, and that they're good people, come to the conference and meet them. There's some good people out there. So anyway, the last thing I would say to that point, and then guys, I'm going to do I actually want to say just a couple last things, just some stuff that's on my mind, and then I'm going to read some comments, and then we'll keep moving on this stuff. Is I ask this question to my fellow Gentile brothers. I ask this question to blood descendants of Abraham. And I want to be very careful when I address certain things like this, especially about like the true Hebrews, is because Baruch are those that Baruch you, and cursed are those who curse you. And I don't want to do anything to ever offend the Father's people, because they're the apple of his eye. And I'm so glad that, at the end of the day, even though I don't like the Jews over there today, even if I'm a servant in the new kingdom or a free man or rich, poor, whatever, I'd much rather serve the Hebrew Israelites that I know are the true ones than the Jews over there today, folks, because they satanic, Kabbalists, they blood drinking, child sacrifice, and pedophilia, wicked, sick people. All right. But anyway, the thing I want to say is that where is all them people, Gentile or blood descendant Hebrew, where were you when the Most High y'all woke me up in Babylon? Like, what did you do for me? Where were you? Because the Most High was there for me and woke me up, but I didn't see you there for me. I didn't see you come in the building and take me by the hand and say, look, bro, you got to get up out of this mess. You got to come with me. You got to come with me right now. You weren't there. So the thing is your opinions and dogma and thoughts for my future don't matter. It's mute. I don't care. So, because the Most High y'all is going to sort it all out in the end. And if I am counted worthy in making new kingdom, free man, bond or not, I got eternal life. What more can you ask for? And I think people lose sight of the goalpost. And I want to wrap this point up real quick, is that there's going to be a lot of people that they get too caught up with their blood descendancy. And they're going to be left outside the gate while they see so many other nations walk in, because they made that too big a deal. If I was a blood descendant Hebrew Israelite, the first thing I do is recognize that I'm in the situation because sin's my father. But I also have a great restoration waiting for me one day. And in the meantime, while I wait for that restoration, I need to wake my people up and let me try to wake others up around me as I can, no matter who they are. Now, that would be me looking at it from the outside in right now after all these years. All right. The last point I'll make on this, I'm going to roll this over, is because there was an elder, and I knowed him, and I lost a lot of respect for him. Like I said, it was over the picking cotton thing, with the white guys picking cotton and the black guy whipping them. I literally was working for a friend of mine, and when actually, I ain't even a friend, he's like a brother to me. And the thing is, he's a Hebrew Israelite, blood descendant. I ain't no doubt in my mind. And so he was standing there on his property, and he had his pistol on his chest because where we're working, it's just rugged wilderness right now, and helping him develop his homestead. Something stuck out to me is there was some Latino men working building the cabin. Me and my Caucasian son were doing solar. And I looked over, and the thought crossed my mind. I was like, you know what? I was like, this is an interesting thing because, you know, the Latino people are working, I'm working, and here is a Hebrew Israelite standing there watching everybody else work. And, of course, we were being paid for our services, but I was just thinking to myself, I was like, you know, whether I'm free man, bond, in the new kingdom, it really don't matter because what people don't understand is this nasty satanic government that's here right now. It ain't going to be like that in the new kingdom. It's going to be a different world and at peace in the new kingdom. And that just made me pause for a minute. And it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter in the new kingdom how it all sorts out, because when it does sort out, people will be grateful, whether they're a cupbearer, a doorkeeper, a king sitting on a throne somewhere. People just going to be glad to be there, man. Because I'm going to tell you what, this is a crap show we're living in right now. All right, guys, I've got about 3 more points. I'm going to pause for a second. And I'm gonna go through y'all's comments here because it got blowed up earlier, and I wanna read some of these comments here. Let's see here where we were at. Okay, let's see. J.D. Israel said, right, Luke 2 Timothy 4:2, preach the word, be instant season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering doctrine. Somebody said, I was in a debate recently. I never heard of pre-tribulation, and they used 1 Thessalonians 4:17. They tried to prove me incompetent of y'all's word. Guys, I'll tell you what, when the first trumpet starts, don't worry. That pre-tribulation thing going to go out the window. Excuse me. Somebody said, Professor Figa, thanks, brother. I feel like I have to check them in the Holy Spirit so I can know I did, I'm going to say Elohim's duty. Absolutely, yeah. Somebody said, much love, everyone. Yahushua, shalom. Somebody said, ironically, you are one of the first people to open our eyes to the truth of the Hebrews, and were Hebrews. Identity doesn't save, only faith in Yahushua. Absolutely. Yeah, but the thing is, guys, is the thing to me is if it's truth, it's valid, and there shouldn't be a reason to hide that truth. You know, if Mashiach was Oriental, then by goodness, we should tell people that's the truth. That's how it was. If he was Hispanic, that's fine. If he was a dark melanated man, by goodness, he was a dark melanated man. When he comes, I'm going to gladly bend the knee, and that's that, you know. But there's an agenda. There's always an agenda anymore. Just like hiding Mashiach's color, hiding the true nature of that, and who the true Hebrews were, trying to delete these people from the face of the earth. The globe, you know, versus the flat earth under a firmament dome. I mean, you got to understand, guys, it's the truth of the true Hebrews is just one cog in a massive machine that they're trying to cover everything up. And that's why it matters to me, you know. That's why it matters to me. I'm not pandering to anybody. I don't care about people's feelings anymore. I care about it that it's true because it's true. And if I was black, I'd bring it out just the same. Or Oriental, it's facts, and that's all that matters. Somebody said, is this an open discussion or a lesson? I guess it's just an open discussion tonight, guys, and just some point case I've seen. Many of those Camp-relites are under deception. Their leaders are Masonic. That's actually a very good point. It's actually been, I tell you, I'm not going to call any camps in general, but I'm telling you, guys, I think that a lot of that stuff is CIA plants. I really do. And I'm not just saying that to beat up on people. There's good places. There's great fellowships. And even though I don't agree with every point of their doctrine, they obviously have a love for y'all. And they're working to build other people up. But, man, I'll tell you, some of these places, man, it just looks like it's a machine. Somebody said, that's right, Luke. Many of my people are going in the lake of fire. And many of my people, too. Matter of fact, there's going to be multitudes of nations. Guys, if y'all have not read 2 Baruch, whether Hebrew or Gentile, you better pick that book up and read it. Because I'm going to tell you what, the nations that known Israel disrespected them. Master going to put them to sword. It says it. I'm telling you what, ain't no freaking joke. And it says that there will be people out of the nation spared, okay? And enter into the kingdom. But there's going to be a lot of people get the sword, man. Y'all ain't even read nothing serious, like on this topic until you've read Second Brew. Matter of fact, don't even come back to this channel for a live discussion until you read Second Brew, because you will not get the full value out of some of the stuff I've been talking about lately until you read that. And I mean no disrespect. I'm serious. It's that important to need to read. Somebody said stumble across onto this channel. Somebody said, where can I get those? Now, guys, my wife made those for me, but now eBay has a lot of zeets nowadays. Somebody said, stumbled onto this channel. I feel the Spirit of the Most High speaking through you, brother. I appreciate that, guys. You're right, bro. But like the words say, all Israel, not Israel. That's true. That's true, guys. That's true. And somebody said, 7 trumps per. Some of us don't wear fringes because we're unsure of how it is to be correctly done according to Scripture. Well, guys, I'll be honest with you. I mean no disrespect when I say this, but I'd rather tie a string of blue on than not have nothing at all. I mean, and it's a good reminder to keep the commands. You know, once again, it's not a legalism thing to me. It's like, that's a simple request from the master. Just do it, you know? I mean, it takes 2 seconds in the morning. Throw it on and be done with it. Or it takes a few seconds. Somebody said the hatred and anger is disheartening. The knowledge of Scriptures is completely destroyed by their anger towards the nation. It is. And that's what I'm saying, guys. But now, once again, Satan understands that if he can take a lighthouse and blur that light, then he's still winning. And that's the thing that frustrates me, is because I want people to see the truth. Why is the younger generations don't understand that they great grandparents did some bad things? The black people, black women cut open the wombs, took the baby, smashed the baby's head. Okay, now that's a great point, okay? These people have done wickedness. Guys, they're going to get judged. Once again, Second Baruch, please read. Now, you take me. My family is a bunch of foreigners. They come from Scotland. I don't know, about probably 5 generations back now, I think it is, 5, 6. I've tried to get it all the way back to native Siberian Russia. And so my thing is okay, so my family owned no slaves, was poor foreigners, came to this land, has no part in that. Now, because of just who I look like, I'm accounted in with these people in judgment, in people's eyes. Some people's eyes, that's just how they see. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I do not know how to detox the mind of people, but for those of us in the nations especially, it is when you come to the knowledge of the truth, you've just got to understand that these are things you're going to face. That's the point in case I'm trying to make. And I'm going to tell you, these people have done atrocities, white, black. Let me tell you, the Shannon Christian, Eric Newsom, it was 5 black people murdered 2 white folks. It was it's the worst murder I've ever seen. I put it up there with Hannibal Lecter. I'm kid you not. And the thing is, I don't see color with it, though. I see wicked people. And everybody has done wickedness, just like this guy right here is talking about. The scripture, I think, talks about it that you know, they were given into the hands of the masters or something like that, but they went too far. And I'm just summarizing. I can't remember where it's at. But it talks about it. I think it's in the Book of Prophets or something. It talks about it where that you know, they were given pretty much, I guess, as slaves and servants, but they went too far and they murdered them, they killed some, they've done all sorts of terrible things, and they went too far and they're going to be judged for it. And I can't tell you exact verse, chapter, book where it's at, but I've read it before, guys. Judgment's coming for a lot of people. The fringes that many of the camps wear match those of Masonic clothing. That's very interesting. Said Isaiah, KB said Isaiah 49:23 and Micah 7:17 both talk about people licking the dust. I can't say exactly when that will happen, but it is written in the scriptures. Yeah, it talks about Israel taking some people's possession too. Guys, I'm going to tell you, eye for an eye, I think people need to understand eye for an eye. People going to have to pay the tab. Somebody said younger generations need to talk to your own kind. Wait a minute. Younger generations need to talk to your own kind, your white side, those people that's not listening. Talk to them, tell them to stop doing those things and be fair. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying, folks. Bad comes in all groups. Asian aristocrats had Asian slaves. Is that racist? Now, guys, slavery's been parts of multiple nationalities and cultures, and it's crazy stuff. Um, Somebody said shalom, shalom, sis. Miranda. Somebody said the whole truth will only be revealed by the hand of the Most High. Y'all. Our zeal remains hidden because of the tarnished awakening. Somebody said, I don't understand why we want to make slaves out of anyone. We didn't like it. If anything, y'all will take vengeance upon those nations, people who are guilty and don't repent. Yeah, yeah. Somebody said, you're right, brother. Yeshua is the true name of our Savior. They're COINTELPRO ops designed to repel people from the truth. I'm going to read a couple more here, guys. I'm going to get back in this, then I'll pick up when we get done. Somebody said, Romans 11:25, blindness to Israel, are we not still a cursed people? Money enslaves us. It's currency races. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're all practically slaves right now to the system. Bro, wait 1 month or two. I don't pay child support. Y'all see me up in the jail cell. Don't tell me I ain't no freaking slave. I mean, oh, gosh. Somebody said, I love everyone, bro, but I won't lie. The racism seems to be thriving amongst the white people. I see it and experience it, and it's just difficult. Sometimes I know a few that's solid like you, but not many. Yeah, and here's the deal, guys. The old Dominic, I think that's Dominic that wrote that. Here's the deal. I wish for 1 minute though everybody would just take the lenses off, like that show, that movie They Live, that was like made in 1988, I think. Look at it like this. Is that don't look at the people on the outward and just say to yourself, okay, 80% of humanity, just go right now and say 80% of humanity is bad. If we could put on glasses, I don't have some sunglasses. Yeah, well, matter of fact, hold on. All right, we're going to go into They Live, right? If you ain't never seen that movie, you don't understand what I'm talking about, but I put my sunglasses on. All right, now I'm looking at 80% of humanity right now, and I don't see color anymore. All I see is wicked people, not evil. I'm sorry, not just bad people, but wicked. They are straight up wicked. When you start looking at it in that lens set, and especially people that's Hebrew Israelite understand that you're a chosen, set apart people, especially just because of the Most High picked the nation of Israel out, and that adds even more fuel to the fire. If you could start looking at that lens set, then I think it would help a lot, because it's not so much that it's just white people are bad. Darn, I've seen a lot of white people. They're just terrible people. I don't even freaking like them, and I'm white. I met a lot of black people. It's bad. I met a lot of different people. It's bad, and it's not. You've got to go past the skin. And I just say to myself now, I'm like 80% of people's bad. I mean, it's just, if not more. All right, and the sooner that everybody adopts that policy, it helps me a lot. And that way, that's how I look at it anymore. And I'm not saying that's the best viewpoint. I'm just saying that's how I see it. Somebody said, even if all white people, etc., people are servants in the kingdom, there's a biblical way that a servant is to be treated. Absolutely. Somebody said, I grew up in the Project Stockton, CA, and I've seen the racism is real and prevalent there, especially with the police and profile. Man, the freaking police just, that's a whole other conversation for another day. You were there for Israel, Luke. You're a rarity in this walk because of the truth you speak. I appreciate that, guys. People need to get out of their head that the other nations will be receiving chattel slavery. That's illegal according to the law. Interesting. I love the way you spread the truth. Psalms 83 brings out the conspiracy to hide Israel. Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I can't remember if it's in Obadiah. It may be in Obadiah also. It talks about that it's Hosea or Obadiah that talks about it, that they would try to make the name of Israel not exist anymore, or something to that effect. Somebody said they can't handle the truth, but one day every knee will bow. You better believe it. Matter of fact, I'll be glad to even prostrate on the ground. May the Most High forever bless you and your family. Thank you so much. If you go to Knoxville starting July 3rd, you'll have to wear a mask in public. Man, Knoxville's went full communist, guys. It will be required. All right, so I'm going to pause right there. And so here's the deal. The next thing I want to point out is that, and I swear, like for probably 10, 15 minutes, I went on about a lot of things. And now I'm about to open another can of worms, but I see this a lot, and I talk about it on here, guys. I don't want you to say Luke is secretly MGTOW. I'm just red pill, and I've seen enough. In this generation, and especially in the awakening, I've seen this in Gentile and Hebrew. Women seem to have this thing where they want authority in assemblies. They want to have authority as a pastor, and they want to have authority over men. I don't have any problem learning something from man or woman. Matter of fact, a young child or an old man. I am a teachable spirit. But what I don't need is a woman lording over me. I'm going to tell y'all something. The worst experiences, the absolute most traumatic, worst experiences I've ever experienced in life, almost always, I'd say high 90 percentile, have revolved around a woman being involved in that. Um, I mean, it's just fact. I mean, I went through a divorce, darn. I mean, that's number one on the list right there, one of the highest, right? And the reason I come into this point right here in particular is because when I helped get an assembly started years and years ago, guys. We had almost 50 people coming on a good Sabbath. We had music, we had people presenting things, sharing, etc. It was beautiful. And then another woman caused dissension and stirred up a drama because of another woman. And the whole fellowship fell apart. Okay? All because of two women that couldn't check themselves and keep their self in line. And this generation, now when I say this right now, there's a lot of ladies that listen to this channel. There's a lot of women that listen to this channel, and you are Torah observant. And the majority of you all that's watching this, I'm not speaking to you. Okay, so you got to understand that. Please don't get in your feels, because now especially women think with their emotions, men think logically. But the thing is, I'm not saying this to beat up on people, but this is facts. Okay, this is not Luke's opinion, my thoughts, my feelings, nothing. This is facts. That whole fellowship fell apart because two women could not keep themselves in order or in check. All right? Now, I've seen this after that, multiple situations through time, that it's because of a woman acting out in an assembly. And the big thing that kills me is, especially as one of the nations coming into the truth, is that it seems like that anywhere I've been, that you get around a group of women, even in Torah, that it seems like that there's this struggle for power, there's a struggle for dominance, there's a struggle, I need to be heard, I need to be in this position, I need to be in that position. And the thing is I find it that even, like I said, even in the awakening, even coming to the truth, that women cannot keep themselves in check. And that is frustrating too. And this is a big thing I've experienced. And in fellowship, you know, I don't care. Like I said, I don't even care if somebody shares something that it's a good teachable thing. No woman should be in a position where she's the elder of the church. And when I say elder, I mean like the supreme authority, master and commander of the ship in pastoral position. Because here's the deal. Well, the last time I checked, it was Moshe, not Misty. It was Aaron, not Ashley. Okay? Men need to be in authority roles in the church. In the assembly, all right? Like I said, I don't have no problem anybody teaching me something. I don't have no problem somebody sharing something. I think everybody should have a position to talk. I'm just telling you, like if you're going to go to put an assembly together, if you're going to put an assembly together, then this is something you need to keep in mind, because, like I said, I have seen whole assemblies torn apart because of women not keeping themselves in check in the assembly and acting out. And I'm telling you this from, almost a decade ago now. I mean, guys, like, I've seen a lot. I know a lot because I've seen a lot. Not because I'm old, but because I've seen a lot. That's why I'm starting to get gray hairs in my beard and my head and everything else, because of the stress of it. And, somebody said didn't need to, it could just call up the angels. Remember, I guess you was talking about self-defense in there. But, this is a point that I want people to keep in mind, and I know it's kind of like a fringe thing, and I'm not saying to beat up on people. I mean, it's like when you come to the knowledge of the truth, there is all sorts of different angles of things you're going to run into, and this is going to be one of them. And people have like lost sense of organization in church. In fellowship, there should literally be the head leader of a church, the elders that keep that person in check, and then everybody else under that. It's real simple. Real simple. Matter of fact, I think it's in the writings of Paul, and I'll let this one lie after that. That like the bishop should be of the church should be to one wife, okay? Because he don't need to be trying to chase a bunch of women around either. He needs to have one wife and run his show, okay? And I mean, that right there tells me the importance of keeping everything straight. All right, but anyway, that's number 6 on the list, okay, guys? I've seen that for those of us that's come out of pagan Christianity. There is order in the church, and there needs to be order reestablished. And I don't need nobody. I don't want to be nowhere where people's acting out. Shut your mouth. Listen to whoever's speaking. Be respectful. Don't be stirring up dissension and drama and destroying things. All right, it's real simple. You know, when I show up at assembly, I usually sit in the back. I ain't got a lot to speak. It's just how it is. All right, now this one, I saved this little caveat for one of the last ones. It's second to last, but jobs. Guys, I'm going to tell you what, I used to work corporate job, and when I would go to work, it was always a stress to me worrying about when I was going to be able to be off for Sabbath, especially when I come to the truth about keeping the Father's lunisolar biblical calendar. It was just always drama ever since then, trying to figure out Sabbath, somebody not trying to get you to work, blah, 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 blah. And, as those of us, the nations that's coming to the truth, it is so hard to exit out of the system because everything's built around the pagan Roman Gregorian calendar. Everything's built around pagan traditions and holidays and et cetera, and et cetera, et cetera. And employers don't even care about people trying to do the right thing, even on SAT day worship or SUN day worship. People, they don't care about you. You drop dead tomorrow, you're just a number on their payroll, and they got somebody else replacing you. I've seen it so many times. And, the thing that gets me is that as you come into the truth, you're going to have to understand that your job may be something else that gets cut. And the Most High will make a way for you. I have been working for myself now for 7 years, busier now than I've ever been before. If I had to, all praise being the Most High for that. But if I had to go back to working in the system, I would either do one of the following. The first time somebody told me I couldn't keep Sabbath, I'd quit. I'd punch the darn punch card and be out the door. The first time somebody cursed me out or disrespected me, I'd be out the door. Thirdly, depending on how badly they cursed me or disrespected me, I'd punch them square in the face and then clock out and leave. I have no tolerance anymore. Like, I have a zero tolerance policy for BS anymore. And it's something you've got to understand, that if you love your job, if you love your career, if you love all this stuff, when you come to the truth in the way, you're probably going to have to cut that mess loose. Because a lot of employers don't even want to respect. Listen, I have a friend that comes to assembly with us in fellowships. It's a woman, and I love her to death like a sister. She literally had to go at it with her employer over the stupid face covering thing, because they were going to pretty much cut her loose if she didn't comply and all this stuff and everything. And she literally had to take them to task with the law and everything else that's on the books and stuff to protect religious stuff and freedoms and things like that. And then, of course, they had to take backwater and back off on it. And the thing is at the end of the day, I was just trying to read it, is that, the thing that gets me at the end of the day, employers just don't care about you. And the sooner you can understand that when you come to the truth, the sooner you can check out. You'll feel good about walking away. And I don't miss anywhere that I work. I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. Now, the last thing that I'm going to point out here, guys, and then we're going to get in the comments, and I've ran over just a little bit, but than usual. I'll try to keep us about an hour, but I've ran over a little bit. And the last point, guys, I'm going to get in the comments, and I hope it's going to help somebody tonight. The cost. This is something I did not tally up at the beginning, and I am so glad that I did not know what I know now. Because had you told me when I was going to walk out of Babylon, just by the way, you're going to lose friends, jobs, marriage, home, practically freaking everything, and you're going to start over from the bottom up. Man, has it been a trip. I know many people that have went through a similar situation. And the thing is, I don't know how it will all shake out in the end, but you got to press on. And this may cost you everything, but at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? To me, absolutely, it's still worth it. You know, like I said, if I'm a rich man, poor man, free man, bond man in the new kingdom, guys, I will be thrilled just to be there. And that's where I'm at with it. You know, I'll leave it at that right there. Like I said, guys, that's my points on this. I know some of that stuff's probably been offensive to people. There's a point or two there that probably has offended people, but guys, I mean, I'm serious. Like, these are the issues after a decade of walking in the way, trying my best to walk it out in the way, that I have seen that seem to be reoccurring nightmares and problems out there for people that's trying to come to the truth and do the right thing. But anyway, with that said, guys, I'm gonna get in the comments and catch up here where we left off, and let's see what we got here. Somebody said, "How are?" Oh, I guess somebody's asking back and forth, but I believe those fringes can be ordered online. Yes, yes, yes. Somebody said, "Oh, hold on a second, guys. Don't forget there will be a blood moon on July 4th at 11:07 p.m. over the U.S." Oh, that's interesting. Somebody said Zechariah 4:15. Joanne Stores has nice fringes. So that's interesting. Guys, yeah, you can get that cord stuff and make it for sure. Somebody said, I am very, scripture says, Zechariah 1:15, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. There you go. Thank you, Brother JD. That is, that I don't know if that's the exact one, but that pretty much right there summarizes, if that ain't the one, the other, the one I'm talking about, I'm going to have to look it up now. I'm going to have to look it up before the next live because that's driving me nuts. But anyway, it pretty much summarizes the same thing, that they were given over, but their masters afflicted them more than they were supposed to. Franklin says, same people here from other Hebrew YouTubes. I see y'all. Somebody said for his kingdom. Second Brook is available on YouTube as an audiobook. Oh, that's awesome, guys, for those that's got to work all the time. Man, I love throwing the earbuds in on job site. It says a great resource if one doesn't have the actual book, and I love to listen. Guys, reading it after a while, I mean, the front of your face just hurts, you know. Somebody said, I'm probably not going to be popular here, but I don't know about all this eye for an eye shooting up thing. Aren't we blessed and love our enemies? Okay, so welcome to the end of the world. Here's the deal. When somebody kicks in your door, comes in to murder you and your family, you can either shoot them or you can not. But you let me know how that works out for you. All right, I don't encourage violence, but I'm just saying, guys, like, this is real simple, basic economics. Somebody said, I want to buy some from a Hebrew. The ones on Amazon most likely are Chinese made. Yeah, I think it's great just to make your own seats, guys. And it seems to have more value, you know, to yourself personally. I think it really makes you think about it. All right, I guess we got some comments in there going back and forth about people fighting. Whether to use a sword or not use a sword. Somebody said, Savage Bell said, thank you so much for being this light to me, being a you guy. I never heard anyone speak of this, and for you to be able to help waking me up. So all praise y'all. I'm grateful for you. Absolutely, guys. Anything I can do to help everybody. Churches are matriarchal. Yep. Let's see. Y'all doesn't allow women to teach men. Yep. Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, when I say you learn something from somebody, when we have open discussions, when people have open discussions, I've learned a lot of things from people across the years, open discussions, guys. And I mean, you know, when you fellowship one another, there's so much can be brought to one another's lives, you know, but that's what I'm saying is ultimate authority in a church, fellowship, it should be a man up there. That's just all there is to it. I'm late. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm getting on through this comment. Somebody said, Melissa Road, yes, welcome to the end of the world. Messiah raised I almost skipped that word. In the temple, he turned tables over, beat the men, women, children, animals with a bullwhip to run them out of Yah's house. That's right. I'm telling you guys. I think people's going to be shocked when Mashiach really shows up because, man, he's going to come clean house. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh, man, I've been offended so many times. I'm doing better allowing the Holy Spirit to work through me, though. It's tough in the flesh. It is, guys. I try to stay out of the flesh all the time. Let's see. Sorry, give me just a second, guys. All that matters is that the Most High is pleased. Jamie Israel, that's right. Y'all doesn't change. Sucks losing friends, but I'm happier doing the Lord's work now more than ever. Yeah, and I tell you what, man, it feels like a burden lifted off your life sometimes, guys. I mean, it ain't no joke. Have to look in this fringes thing. Yeah, guys, check it out. It's in Numbers 15. Numbers chapter 15, if you want to check it out about fringes. The thief can't spoil the strong man of the house unless you first time. Mark 3:27. Thank you for taking your time. Hey, Southern Prepper is in the house, guys. David, I hope you're doing great, brother. Somebody said, unlearn Christianity, welcome to the end. Or welcome to the end. Yep. We got to let go of a lot of stuff, guys, from the past. Somebody said, this is a lonely walk, but better to be lonely in the truth rather than surrounded with folks on the broad page. Dang right, I'd rather walk it alone. Thank you from South Korea. Hey, True Repenter, I sent you an email because I think you asked me about sharing content over on your channel in South Korea and transliterating the words off of my content or whatever. I sent you an okay back on that. You are more than welcome. Take any of the content of mine off the channel, use it for whatever you want. If you didn't get the email from me, please, by all means, hit me up. I'll do whatever I can to help you, man. And I checked out your channel. You keep fighting for the kingdom. That's awesome, man. Right there you go. Right there's an example of a servant of y'all right there, guys. True repenter. That is a Oriental brother right there, all the way across on the other side of this flat geostationary disc, chopping it up, getting it done for the kingdom. That's what I'm saying, folks. When people do make it to kingdom, they're going to be freaking shocked to see who really does make it up in the show. I'm telling you. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. You're the best. We love you from South Korea. Hey, love you guys over there, too. Shalom, everyone. What's up, brother Luke? Hey, Kingdom Truthers in the building. Well, guys, I think I about caught them up. Yeah, it's awesome, guys. Check out the content over there on his channel. While I got that all caught up for a second, I just want to say, guys, I really enjoy spending time with everybody in here because, I read somebody's comment to me the last live stream, and they said to me, and it was something that was eating at me because it's something been on my heart for a while. I have just tried for years to prepare, do everything physical I can, etc., etc. And they said that pretty much, I guess it'd been put on their heart by the Father to tell me that the only way I was going to get through this was through Messiah, and that I need to quit worrying so much, pretty much like I do, just OCD, trying to do everything. And it's interesting because it's kind of like a confirmation to me that I'm just finally, I feel like I'm at one of my lowest points in life, where that it just seems like whatever's going to, I travel this country and the world taking people off grid. I've taken people's whole homestead from nothing to completely self-sufficient many times over now. And every time I walk away from there, I keep asking myself, I'm like, I'm going to die in a FEMA camp one day or get my head lopped off for the kingdom, for the witness. How am I going to escape this? Because I have practically nothing now. I've started over from nothing after a divorce. How in the world am I going to survive this? I mean, we're at like this close to the kickoff of the 7 trumpets, and now I'm starting over from scratch, and I'm like, only the Messiah is going to save me now. Because otherwise I'm going to be like Mad Max driving around in my truck when a trumpet start, except it's Mad Max 2.0 at that point, Cybertruck. But I mean, that's just, that was, and what was crazy is that same person said that, I guess the Most High had spoke to them and said that, they'd lose their head for a witness for the kingdom. And it's just heavy duty, man. I do read y'all's comments. I do read y'all's emails, and I see the experiences people's went through, and um, it's just it's heavy duty. Like I said about the in the last live stream, like just looking at the trumpets, people just do not understand the dystopian world that we're going to live in, and it's nothing to get excited about. I mean, it's one of those things where you want to get tickets to the game, and you want to enjoy the post-game celebration, but you don't want to deal with the game. And the game is the seven trumpets and the vials and all that stuff going on. And that's kind of where my mindset's at. It's like I look forward to the kingdom. Gosh, I so hope I make it in the kingdom. I want to get past the point we're in right now, but I know the only way to get there is through all the struggle ahead. And yeah, and I think about it more. I literally, as a career, help people prepare for the end of days. It is on my mind almost every single day of my life. And not that mention, I'm designing people's properties and doing all that. And guys, if you ever never check me out, it's offgridcontractor.com. We're almost booked up for the rest of the year. But anyway, I just out there, and it's always on my mind. And if you've not stepped out of the world today, you need to really detox everything. Like if you're attached to anything material, one of the things, divorce was one of the greatest blessings in my life, because it helped me detach from so many things that I was attached to. Now I just feel like a free spirit. I'm like, you know what? Today I ate a good meal. I had food and drink, and I've got a place to lay my head tonight and clean shower, and praise y'all. And tomorrow comes, I guess we'll sort tomorrow out. And that's the way that Luke lives his life now. And I think that it's a good policy to have, because when stuff really hits the fan here in the years ahead, we're going to be very grateful for a clean shower and a food in our belly and a clean drink. Who knows? We're going to be out there like probably with a Geiger meter, like, is this water clean? Like, it's going to get crazy, and we need to find a place of peace. And like I said, while I was on my honeymoon, and I woke up there, and I took a picture of it, and like my heart monitor had just flatlined. It was like gone, and I was so cold, and I started feeling the blood flowing out to all the other places in my body, and it was just like that spirit of peace that was on me, knowing that it's like, if I died and that was my last day, thank you, Father Yah, that I had the spirit of peace. Like, I didn't have that years ago, and now I finally feel that, and I'm so grateful for that, because guys, I don't want to die in a lost state, and I don't want anybody else to die in a lost state. And we really need to find our center balance point of peace in this walk. Because if you're of the nations and you've come out of this to start in the walk of the way, or if you're blood descendant Abraham, seed of Israel, and woke up to the truth, now that you have accepted and understood, and you need to keep the commands and walk this truth out and have faith in Messiah and try to do the right thing, it's now more imperative than ever to find a place of peace, because the world, the time is coming up on the world here soon, that it's so going to be so bad that even the elect almost would be deceived. That's heavy duty. And so, with that said, guys, that's pretty much, that's really all the thoughts on my mind tonight. I'm gonna read the rest of the comments here. We're almost running about the same time that we usually are in. I'm gonna stick around just a few more minutes here, catch up these comments, and answer anybody else's comments that gets dropped on here, and then I think we're gonna call it a night. Somebody said, chopping up here in Seattle, man, y'all, it's crazy up there in Washington. Man, I messed up. I told somebody it'd be 2 weeks before the National Guard rolled downtown up there in Chaz, and I think I'm a week and a half overdue now, so something's gonna shake up in that up there soon. But somebody said, you get married, congratulations. Yes I did. I appreciate that, guys. Let's see, somebody said, pray for your enemies like David did in Psalms 119. This is how you love your enemies. We are not to be vengeful, but we are able to protect ourselves. Big difference. Absolutely love that shirt. Hey, thank you so much. Some folks to go to fellowship with, they got that for me as a gift. And you can check it out. It's on, if you Google Obey Y'all shirt, you can get it online. It's a pretty awesome shirt. Much love to this true family. Said shalom, everyone. Let's see. Somebody said the funny thing is I'm Seattle. I'll lose my neck for him. Man, I'm telling you guys, got to get up out of them cities. My dream is to have my family off grid on a homestead. I got to learn from your wisdom, experience, brother. Guys, go back in the archives, like back to 2012 and start forward. I have done so many projects showing people solar and water and food preps and just all sorts of stuff. Even before I ever started my business, just check it out, man. There's all sorts of free content on there for everybody. Somebody said, welcome. Did no one not pray up? Did not Joseph not pray? That's right. Saved their families. They said, Yoakum raised by Yah says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. There you go. There you go, guys. I tell you what, I live out of a backpack pretty much anymore. It's a good feeling, man. Let's see. Somebody said we need to pray hard for courage. Revelation 2 tells likens cowards to unbelief. We must get to, I don't know what they were saying there. Contact. Look forward to checking out Off Grid Contract. Yeah, check it out, guys. offgridcontract.com. I've been drinking water like never before. Water is so delicious to me now. I'm telling you what, guys. Y'all seen me on here a bunch of times drinking a Coca-Cola. I love them glass bottle Mexican Coca-Colas. So I'm telling you, I'm really trying to hit the water nowadays, too. Let's see. Is there really a coin shortage in Tennessee? So I've seen the thing about the coin shortage now is the excuse to make everybody pay with card, and I think that's garbage. I think that is just another way of trying to push everybody to do it. KB said 7 Trump's Pepper is one of the few non-Israelite Gentiles that I listen to and am willing to support. He is a rare one. I appreciate that, KB. Love you, brother. Guys, I just... it just sucks because, like I said, in the circle of people I know and love. And think about this. I'm putting on a conference, y'all willing. I mean, I pray I lived August 15th and 16th to be at that conference and host that. But I'm telling you, it's like, even in the circle of all the Hebrew Israelites I know and Gentiles I know, I just feel so alone in this world. There's just so few of us. Even if there's hundreds or thousands of us, in the multitudes and the masses, we're just a speck of dust. I mean, we are a remnant. Of believers. It's so sad. I just wish there was more of us. Somebody said grocery stores are not getting any change. Somebody said at KB, I'm a grafted in one too. Yeah, Luke's solid, bro. I appreciate you, Kingdom Truther. The thing with the change thing, guys, I'll address that real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. I don't feel like that we're short on change. I feel like that it is the ploy to get people to have to use the card. I just feel like, and I would say feel because I don't know for sure on this, okay? Like when I can talk facts, I'll talk facts or statistics, but it's like I feel, my gut says no. If you say on the door, card only, cause of corona, people's not going to go with that. But if you say, man, I'm sorry, we don't have the ability to give you change, but, okay, and when you say but, just so people understand this in conversations, when you say but, anything prior to that, it's irrelevant anymore. So when you say, yeah, we can serve you, but we can't take change, we have to take your card, then it's a lot more easier slide of the hand than to say, I'm sorry, due to corona, we're not taking cash. And so I guess that's where I'm at with that one. And guys, we're going to see just so much crap before the rest of the year's out. Listen, leading up to election, okay, I just feel like we haven't even began to see the brunt of it yet. Like I seen with the states starting to close down again with coronavirus, what was it? I'll tell you in a second. The Florida governor said he wasn't closing down again, but the Texas governor did. And it's like, when is this insanity going to stop? Like, when people going to be like, enough is enough? I mean, I don't know, but let's see here. I appreciate your dying breed of people. Falsey. Yeah, Falsey, man. Me and a friend was talking about it, dude. Dude's got to go. He is a quack. Let's see. Thank you for making these videos. Truly, I appreciate it. Your testimony really encouraged me because it can be a lonely one. People nowadays. Yeah, and guys, don't give up. I mean, we don't have another option, and we've got to keep the truth. I think the temperature scans are to get the people. Now, somebody was talking about that they felt like the Gentiles was talking about the northern kingdom. Guys, if you look in the context of Scripture, when it talks about nations, just like in Revelation, it talks about 144,000, then multitudes, nations, and tongues. There is Israel, and then there's the nations, and like there's going to be other nations that make it into the new world. I mean, it's going to happen. There's just too much Scripture. There's Baruch, there's Revelation. I can just keep going. I mean, it's Matthew, Messiah. I just covered that earlier tonight. I mean, it just goes and goes and goes. Somebody said, I think the temperature scans will get the people to use to scanning for the mark in the forehead when the beast system is in full effect. So, oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's conditioning. Just like what I was saying with the coin thing, you know, it's a lot easier to get that conditioning there. If something ain't working, they'll just flip the script, change the game. Alrighty. Well, guys, if anybody wants to email me, it's the number 7 and then trumpetsprepper@gmail.com. Okay. And I've been trying to catch the emails up because, my goodness, I travel so much that it is just in between job sites and travel. It is hard to catch up all them emails, but I've been trying to whittle away at that. And I think one more day while I'm home here this week, I think I'm going to have the box caught back up, and then it'll start stacking again probably. So, guys, it's been a great time here with you. I hope this conversation we've had tonight, is enlightening. Somebody said I was a sheeple, but no more. Praise the Most High. Absolutely, guys. I was one of those sheeple in 2009 that got woke up and heard. I'm gonna tell you what. I felt the burning sensation in my heart in 2009, and man, I'm so glad to get up out of Babylon. I can't thank the Master enough for waking me up in Babylon. Even if I was the only one that got up out of there. Thank you all. Praise the Father, God. But what I said, guys. Until we see again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel and here at the Hard Truth Show, as always, I hope Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make His face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name. Love you, everybody. Have a great night out there.